Now, amid the ongoing tension with China, the government is weighing options to limit China's soft power in India. India has decided to tighten rules for Chinese nationals coming into the country. A top source to CNN News 18 suggests that the Home Ministry will scrutinize Chinese nationals who seek a visa for businesses or academics in India. Further tie-ups between Indian and Chinese universities will also be closely monitored. The HRD Ministry has also written to Indian universities on this matter. In the wake of the Galwan clashes, as India tries to limit China's soft power in the country, these norms have been put in place to limit any attempt to conduct espionage operations in India. Greater scrutiny of Chinese nationals who are in the country in order to prevent any espionage operations. We now learned in the Chinese Hawala scam that the person in question, the person who was the target of the Chinese Hawala scam, was none other than the Dalai Lama. We're joined by Arunima, who tracks the Ministry of Home Affairs. Arunima, is this move aimed to crack down on any espionage racket that might be operating in India right now, namely in the wake of the Chinese Hawala scam?
So as far as traditional spying or traditional espionage as we know it, what Intelligence Bureau officials tell me is that this seems to be different from the way espionage has been known in the country. In the sense that China is not relying on these monks whom money is being paid for specific information about Dalai Lama's movement. There is no evidence to suggest that using that information they want to target Dalai Lama in any way. The purpose seems to be more long-term. The purpose seems to be to influence these monks so that as and when a successor for the Dalai Lama is chosen, Chinese candidate to succeed him receives the support of these Tibetan monks. That seems to be the suspicion of Intelligence Bureau at the moment. However, they do say that this requires a full-fledged police investigation. There are monasteries in southern India, there are monasteries in northern India who are involved, close to 100 monks already under the scanner. So proper police investigation is required to get to the depth of this conspiracy.
Thank you, Arunima, for that update. We'll continue to track this story as and when it develops. Now, shifting focus to the probe into actor Sushant Singh Rajput, the CBI has initiated the probe into his death. On day one, the agency grilled the former investigation officer in the case for over 5 hours. The Mumbai police has handed over several key pieces of evidence, including a laptop and mobile phones of the late actor. Sources tell CNN News 18 that the CBI will also investigate Disha Salyan's death and suspected links to the actor's death. Now, a video showing Riya Chakrabarti's going to the morgue a day after Sushant Singh Rajput's death has also gone viral, which has raised more questions against the Mumbai police. As you know, the Mumbai police is not doing well in the realm of optics, where many questions are being raised. First, there was no FIR registered. Then the Patna SP was quarantined. And on top of that, many people who were in Sushant's inner circle were not the prime focus. In fact, top actors and directors of Bollywood were on focus by the Mumbai police ever since the Bihar police filed that FIR weeks after Sushant Singh Rajput's death. It turned the case on its head. But now, with the CBI taking charge of this investigation, many questions are being raised against the Mumbai police. We're joined by Herman Gomes reporting from Mumbai. Herman, what will be the CBI's plan of action after day one?
Well, after day one, yesterday we did see in the morning that Neeraj, the cook of Sushant Singh Rajput, was in fact brought to the DRDO guest house where the CBI has been camping, for questioning. Yesterday he was not let go. He was not allowed to go from there. It is expected that his interrogation will be continued even today. Samuel Miranda, another close aide of Sushant Singh Rajput, who was believed to have been acting on the orders of Riya Chakrabarti, was also grilled yesterday. Yesterday it was expected that the CBI's forensic team could be coming here at the residence of Sushant Singh Rajput, and a recreation of the crime scene could be taking place, but that did not happen. So most likely it is expected that they could be coming in here today. One of the sub-teams of the CBI had also visited the Bandra police station, where it took into custody various evidences as well as other documents such as the viscera and post-mortem reports. It is expected that they could be interacting once again with the police personnel today, so that could be going forward, the line of action as far as the CBI is concerned. Furthermore, it would be interesting to see if whether new names could be coming in, because do remember Sandeep Singh, the self-proclaimed friend of Sushant Singh Rajput, is also expected to be quizzed by the CBI, but whether that happens today, that remains to be seen.
Thank you, Herman, for that update. Okay. We're getting you some breaking news at this point. Latest in the Riya Chakrabarti case. Latest in the Riya Chakrabarti. Now, Cook, Neeraj. The AIMS team will examine Sushant Singh Rajput's autopsy. That's the latest coming into the investigation into Sushant Singh Rajput's death. Cook Neeraj was interrogated yesterday. The AIMS team will examine Sushant Singh Rajput's autopsy report, and the Cooper Hospital doctors will also be questioned by the CBI team, who are currently in Mumbai. Cook Neeraj, Sushant's cook Neeraj was also interrogated by the CBI yesterday, and now the doctors of Cooper Hospital will be questioned by the CBI team. Yeah, we're joined by Harman. Harman, so the CBI re-looking at all the pieces of evidence that the Mumbai police had initially gathered, is it likely that there'll be more questions raised about the role of the Mumbai police and how they carried out this probe?
Well, yes, that was in fact the basis upon which it was decided that, that the case, because there was a lot of apprehensions in the way the crime scene particularly was being looked at in the first place. What we are given to understand is that a forensic team led from AIMS, which is part of the CBI team, would be re-examining the documents when it comes to the viscera report. Furthermore, all the 5 doctors who conducted the post-mortem at Cooper Hospital, they would be also interacting with this team, because there's a lot of apprehension and murmurs about medical negligence when it came to the haste in which the post-mortem was conducted of Sushant Singh Rajput. Therefore, the CBI's team would also be looking into various of the reports, furthermore, and also interact with all the 5 doctors from AIMS who had conducted the post-mortem.
Sushant, that's the latest in the probe into Sushant Singh Rajput's death. Herman, we're staying on the story. Herman, what is the AIMS team planning to look at when they are trying to analyze the autopsy?
Well, what they're looking at is that, there were a lot of apprehensions in the way the haste, particularly at night. Why was there so much of a need that so fast that the entire post-mortem report had to be conducted? Was it conducted proper? And this is a highly specialized team led by Dr. Sudhir Gupta from AIMS, who in fact has been part of several high-profile cases. And he would be looking to ensure that there are no sort of medical negligence, that any sort of, doubts what were raised about people who were allowed to enter. Because we did see yesterday a video how on the second day before the post-mortem report was out, we had Riya Chakrabarti who visited the hospital. The records of the same were not maintained. Was there certain sort of secrecy? All of that was going to be looked at from a medical point of view. This highly specialized team will ensure that all of the 5 doctors at least did not ensure that no stone was unturned when it comes to conducting the post-mortem, because there were a lot of apprehensions in the manner, in the haste which it was carried, and therefore this highly specialized team from AIMS would be looking into all of the reports, and secondly, if they do have any doubts, raise the same with the 5 doctors from Cooper Hospital.
For that update. Now, even as the probe continues, News18 has accessed an old video of Riya Chakrabarti, which shows her visiting the morgue at Cooper Hospital on June 15th, a day after Sushant Singh Rajput's death. It has been revealed that her visit was not on record. She was accompanied by Sushant's friend Sandeep Singh, who reportedly gave instructions to the guards present at the hospital not to record the trip. Sushant's family lawyer Vikas Singh has raised questions over Riya's visit. He has demanded answers from the Mumbai police as to how she was allowed inside the morgue before the post-mortem, adding that evidence could have been tampered.
Well, Riya going to the mortuary is very, very suspicious, because Riya on the day of the death had no relationship whatsoever with Sushant Singh Rajput. She was not even in the living relationship. Of course, Mumbai police will have to do a lot of answering in this case. How did they allow her a backdoor entry into the hospital and to the mortuary? I mean, everybody and anybody can't go inside the mortuary when a dead body is lying there for the purpose of doing post-mortem. She obviously went before the post-mortem. So there is a possibility of tampering with the evidence also.